He's been a model prisoner. The Youth Enlightenment Program, counseling troubled kids. He loved it. He has worried so much about his own son and felt helpless that Kiefer, unfortunately, like any child, sometimes makes the wrong decisions. But he just felt like if he had a strong enough influence on these kids, that he would help maybe one of them. And he loved it. He really enjoyed it. Talked about it all the time.
The guard told me about the time that he was in this program. Apparently, these kids they were in trouble with the law, but not bad enough yet to go to jail and go to prison. And they started this program where they tried to teach these young kids what real prison life was all about. And I told him one time, I said, I would really like to see you do that. He said, no, Mom, you wouldn't. I said, yeah, I believe I would. But they said I couldn't because I was his mother. But this guard, we were signing in, she said, I saw your son doing this program. She said, he was awesome. He is really good. And I thanked her, and of course I was proud of him.
Started to work in the shop back there, like a metal shop, and making different things. And he really liked his boss, and I think his boss liked him. And one day we come to a meeting, he said, Pop, guess what I got? There's no telling. He said, I got a raise. I said, sure enough? He said, yeah. He said, I make 27 cents an hour and I'm glad to get every penny of it. And I said, well, that's great. But he learned to read his blueprints and learned to cut out metal and learned to weld in there, so he's productive in there.
It's like watching somebody with cancer. It's like watching somebody with cancer for 16 and a half years. Never knowing. Never wanted to know. But know it's coming. You don't know when they're going to die, but you see them die inside slowly and slowly. Every time you go visit them, every time you hear them on the phone, you hear their voice and their expressions on their face, you see it, and you know that they're giving up hope too.
He said, Mom, I want to join the Marines. I said, why do you want to join the Marines? What? Because his dad was in the Army, Tommy was in the Navy. He said, I like what they have to say. I like what they stand for. And so he signed up for early something entry. In other words, he signed up, graduated in May from high school. June he went into the Marines. And when he graduated from Marines, my sister flew me to her house and went to his graduation. I'm a mom that don't want to lose her son yet. It's like part of my heart.
It's this torch spot. It'd be just about like you going out in the ocean and having a shark to bite your arm off, and then every day you reach with that arm and it's not there. That's the same way he is. Now I'm old, and I'd like to be with me, and he isn't here.
I have my moments where I break down behind doors where my parents can't see me because I can't display that to them. But talking to my family members, and talking, sitting at my parents' kitchen table and looking into their eyes and experiencing their heartbreak and getting them ready and preparing for my brother's funeral is something no one should ever have to do. I've never planned a funeral, and I don't want to start now.
I have tried to sit at my desk at home and write him a letter. I can't get there. I've sat and I've tried to think about when I go see him Friday, what to say to him. I don't have the words.
I can't imagine being in Rick's shoes knowing that you have a week to live and never seeing your son again. You know, what his parents are going through. It's tough. It's not right.
My son is not going to get to, if the execution is to happen and Governor Nixon doesn't stop it, not going to get to see his uncle no more. My son's only 4, almost 5. My daughter's 2, I've never seen her. And that hurts just knowing my daughter. My uncle. My uncle would love my daughter.
I love his family, do anything in the world for them, and I just can't imagine what they're going through. As a mother, you know, when your kid has cancer, you don't know when God's going to take them. She knows the day, the hour, and the minute they're taking her child from her. I just can't imagine. This got to be the worst thing in the world.
The next person in line that I had to call was my twin. And Sandra and I are very close to Rick. And when I gave her the news, I could just hear her. And it sounded like she dropped the phone and just kept saying, no, 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 that it's not fair. And we both just sat there and cried, and I had to take a moment to calm myself down so that I could calm her down and talk to her a bit rationally. But my heart just was crushed.
Governor Nixon, I'm not just asking, I'm begging you. Don't burn my son to death. Stop. Go over his case. Talk to investigators. Talk to people. See for yourself that he didn't have a fair trial. He needs that chance. We need that chance. So please, please stop. Stop this and check his case. Review it with a fine-tooth comb. He deserves that much. And I thank you if you do that.
We're talking about a man here, a father, a son, a brother. We're talking about a human being that can be put to death for something that the evidence shows he didn't even do. I mean, that's just appalling to me. I'm for the death penalty, but I'm only for the death penalty if we know beyond a reasonable doubt that this person did this.
If he was guilty and they was going to put him to death, I'd say let me throw the switch, or can I at least watch? You know, because that was my best friend ever. You only have one good friend in life, and that was my best friend ever. I loved him, and this ain't justice. I mean, if you want to honor a good man like Randy Martindale was, stop this.
Well, January 11th, I'll probably drive to the prison and sit outside and say prayers all night and cry. I mean, I don't know how to handle it.
Saying goodbye to my brother for the last time. don't know how I will. How do you tell somebody goodbye that you love so much and it's not fair for them to go?
It's my dad. I want him here. If I can write him, if he can write me, if I know he's here, you know, that's okay. I can live with that. But if he's dead, if he's gone, no more advice from Dad, no more Christmas cards, no more visits. So yeah, I'd be okay with that. I'm going to be selfish. I want him here. He may not want to live the rest of his life in prison for something he didn't do, but if that's what we got to live with, that's what we got to live with. I'm his son. I want him here. It's not about him. It's about me. I ain't had him all these years, and I want him to stay. I don't want. I don't want him to murder my father. I need him. I don't know where I'm gonna go without him. It's not fair. It's not fair.